Well, a very good day, YouTubers, and you join me on what is easily the best day of the year so far, on board Aslan, outside the Tythe Barn at Garstang on the Lancaster Canal. Today, I'll be setting off along a section which I haven't travelled since I came over to the Lancaster Canal the first time, back in 2019, and this will also be the first time I've explored it in a southerly direction. The sun is currently directly in front, which means for a short while, until we change direction, any video that's forward will be slightly dark, or as I like to call it, moody. Over the wire aqueduct. Yes, as I say, this is the first time I've headed along this part of the Lancaster in a southerly direction. I'm hoping to do the 16 miles to the Ribble Link Junction. There is at the moment a stoppage on the canal between bridges 26 and 27 due to a fallen tree. There's due to be an update tomorrow. I won't be near there by then. So hopefully they'll have cleared it and then I can carry on to the Ribble Link. If not, well, I can only go as far as I can, can't I? But we should get in some good cruising. Today I'm heading for the little sort of hamlet village of Billsborough, and there's some good moorings there and a water point as well, and I'll top my tank up. Whatever happens, it's just great to be out chugging on the canal on this amazingly gorgeous day. I asked on a recent cooking video on YouTube and on Facebook if viewers would like to send me questions, ask anything you've ever wanted to ask, and I received quite a few, I can tell you that. There was a lot of motorbike related ones, some of which I answered in my recent BMW service video, a lot of more personal ones, which I'll be answering in an upcoming video with myself and Lisa, but also, as you'd expect, a lot of canal and narrowboat related ones. So throughout these videos I'm going to be reading out these questions and answering them. And here's the first one. Do I get stressed when I'm cruising? Not really, no. I don't get stressed by the cruising. I do stress a bit about the filming and trying to keep, you know, the videos sort of fresh, and I don't like to repeat myself. I don't like to keep saying the same thing over and over. It's not that difficult to do because there's lots to see and talk about. So no, I enjoy cruising, just myself when I'm not filming. But when I'm cruising, yeah, you have to continuously, you've got to be on the ball, constantly looking, you know, shots and so on. Filming cruising and cruising are two completely different things. We've left Garstang behind and the Lancaster Canal becomes very rural again. That new solar panel is working a treat. I now have 200 watts. I used to have 140, and even with this sort of, well, it's not even spring yet, but early spring-ish sunshine, which is still lowish, I'm getting around about 4 to 5 amps, which is very good going. Previously I'd have been lucky to get 2. Wow, even with the sound of Aslan's engine I can hear the crackling of the power lines. Bridge 55 and Billsborough is around about 3 miles away. Another question, and one that's been asked a few times, and I have addressed it before, and it's, do I still enjoy cruising as much as when I first started? The simple answer is no, I don't. To enjoy something just as much as when you started doing it, whilst appearing, whilst being genuine, I can't be like woohoo every time I set off along the canal. I do enjoy the pace and the scenery and the sound of Aslan, the whole feel of cruising. But no, to enjoy it, as much as anything, if you buy a new house, you get your first sort of month or whatever of this is great, what a lovely house, but 6 months later, a year, 5 years later, it's your house. You don't walk through the door every time and sort of think, wow, this is great. Well, I mean, maybe you do. I still enjoy cruising, but no, not as much as when I first started. I have 2 swans which are out of sight, but they're swimming along in front of Aslan. I can see their bow wave. They are there. Ah, there we go. Bridge 53. It's so gorgeous today, and this is the first day where there's hardly any wind. Sky's blue, sun's out. It's actually warm, and I had hoped that I'd see quite a few boats about, but so far, nothing. Oh, and as soon as I say that, there's a boat. I still don't know what that building is. Past the Winding Hole, and that's about 2 miles to Billsborough. I can hear the roar of the M6 motorway on the other side of the railway embankment there. But the motorway and railway don't stick to the Lancaster for much longer. The canal takes a sharp right, not far from Billsborough, and then it becomes a bit more peaceful. Yes, I still like ducks. You probably can't make out, but we're approaching the A6 and also a Shell petrol station, which I know very well. A great place that does click and collect as well as cheeky monkey coffee. It's good to see a place you know well, but from an angle that you don't know as well. The canal will very quickly be taking a sharp right, and we'll be passing under the A6, and this is the closest to the M6 that we get. After this turn we start to move away back into ruralness again, and we're around about a mile from Billsborough, where I'll be mooring up for the day. Thankfully that sun, once I get round this bend, is not going to be in my direct line of sight. All clear, and we go through. And as we break through to the other side, we come to a brief area of canal side activity, the Flower Bowl Centre, which also features a garden centre, a farm shop and a small marina. In the Flower Bowl you will find a multi-screen cinema, crazy golf, curling of all things, a golf simulator and a bar. I went to the cinema there last year with Lisa. We watched the new Naked Gun film starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. The film was, well, all I could say is meh. It tried to be like the original, but no. However, it's the only cinema I've ever been in where you get your own two-seater sofa. All I will say is it was very comfy and snuggly. About half a mile now to Billsborough. Very, very high sides to this aqueduct. What that's all about, I don't know. All it does is block the view of the river. We're now approaching Billsborough, just a few hundred metres and round this bend. I do like a good decking. The moorings coming up on the right. Hopefully there's some Armco, a topic which I've discussed many times. I do not like mooring pins for the main reason that they get ripped out by boaters that go past too quick, and it's happened to me a couple of times when I've had no choice but to use mooring pins. So no, give me a bit of Armco any day. There's a water point there and a rubbish point, so tomorrow morning for a set off I'll be just popping over there to fill Aslan's water tank. That was most enjoyable. I'm now moored at Billsborough. What a gorgeous spot and what a fabulous day to do it. Yeah, I really enjoyed that cruise. Another viewer question, and this one is from Christine Mahoney 4559, and she asks, where did I learn to work on classic diesel engines? And quite simply, being truthful, Aslan's engine is the first classic diesel engine I've ever worked on. I've worked on lots of petrol engines and diesel engines. At their core, petrol and diesel engines are the same. Diesel wise, was a lot of Land Rover engines and a VW camper van engine, all diesel. So when I bought Aslan, it was no huge leap to apply what I'd learned to Aslan's engine, even though she is about, what, 74 years old now. Quite incredible. Well, there's a lot of pros and I can't really think of any cons, to be honest with you. And I've just done exactly the same. I've just handed over, I think it was about £29,000, something like that.